Get your alchemy rave hands ready. It's time for Chatter Machine. You can't see this, but Adam's doing the Hechicero alchemy rave hands.
Alchemy rave hands don't work very well in podcast form.
No. I'm Kat.
I'm Adam.
It's been a horrible fucking week in the real world, but I think that AEW had a really good week. So I'm glad our podcast is about pro wrestling and not about the real world.
Thank goodness.
As usual, we are primarily going to talk about AEW this week, a touch of Ring of Honor. We will say for posterity, we did manage to catch up on WrestleKingdom and finally watch the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, as well as Tanahashi's last match and farewell ceremony.
Whew!
What a way to go out. I loved that.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't followed New Japan, generally speaking, but I certainly understand how everyone got so emotional over that event. And it was really cool watching everybody in the Tokyo Dome reacting to this momentous occasion. Anyway, I just really enjoyed that. I'm glad we ponied up for the subscription.
I don't think I'll ever forget the imagery of Tanahashi getting carted around at the end on the little platform.
On his little Pope mobile, like going all
Perfect.
I loved it. Anyway, let's get to it. So let's talk about Dynamite. This week, oh cool, a car alarm, thanks. This week, Dynamite came from Tulsa, Oklahoma, so of course we had an entrance from Jim Ross.
Yeah, they woke him up from his nap to bring him to the show.
Unfortunately, that's kind of how he acted the whole night.
Yeah.
Like, I know when I take a nap and you wake me up, I'm crabby as fuck, so that's kind of... they don't bring me to commentary when that happens.
Grandpa, would you like to be on commentary tonight?
Yeah, I didn't need his commentary, generally speaking, but it was funny to kind of realize, as somebody who kind of used to watch wrestling 20 plus years ago and then didn't for a long time, I've got some like Jim Ross isms in my head. Like, even before we started watching wrestling again, you'd catch me being like, by God, not the chair, you know, like, stuff like that. And it's like very funny to kind of realize, oh, it was that guy.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it's like, I'm all for giving people some respect for, you know, what they brought to the world and what they gave to the field of wrestling or whatever. But there was also a little bit of like, well, couldn't he have just come out for one match? Like, it was a long night for that man.
Right. I mean, not only does he have a history of being, you know, saying like racist things and also just kind of generally thoughtless things.
Right.
But it's also clear he doesn't watch the product.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
So anyway, all right. So we're coming in hot with
coming in hot.
Why? I don't know. Anyway, so that's how we entered, because we're in Oklahoma. And the first thing we get is a backstage promo where Renee Paquette announces that Jet Speed has not been cleared to compete because they have been attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get Don Callis coming out and eventually making the announcement.
The anointed one makes...
This is starting off great, you guys. Don Callis makes the announcement that Jake Doyle, a.k.a. Jake something, destroyed them.
Mm-hmm. All by himself. So he collected the bounty and I guess is now part of the ham cellar. Will he be throwing the hams? Yeah, shout out to Tunnel. Will he be throwing the hams down the stairs or perhaps receiving them? We don't know. That man is, I mean, I don't know Jake something. He's not somebody I've been familiar with. That man is a big ham.
He is a big ham. So, he's a Christmas ham.
And he and Mark Davis together
Hangman
will be.
Anyway. Oh, yeah. I do love the idea of Mark Davis and Jake Doyle as a tag team. And that's certainly what they seem to be suggesting is about to happen. So I will look forward to seeing where that goes. And we open up match-wise with Jon Moxley versus Shelton Benjamin in the Continental Eliminator match, which... God, it's really fun to see Mox get tossed around.
Yeah, I always think in these circumstances that the guy like John must be having a ball. Like, yes,
oh my God, yeah.
How often do you get a chance to get tossed around like that?
He loved it. He loved it. I'm a little sorry that this one didn't go to the full draw. I think we're supposed to all be kind of mad that it went to 19 minutes and 55 seconds.
It's certainly a choice. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Like, you will not win, but you'll almost get there.
Yeah, yeah. That was kind of a bummer. I was kind of thinking that Shelty would get the win here, and then maybe
Mhm.
I didn't think he was going to win the title off Mox. That Carl arm is really nice. Thanks. I didn't think he'd get the title off Mox, but I thought maybe he'd get that shot.
Yeah.
But he looked amazing. I mean, that there was this one avalanche suplex that
Yeah.
was so fucking kinetic.
Yeah.
Like, usually with a move like that, you have several seconds of like setting up the position, and then there's a moment right before it happens where you can tell they're checking in with each other, like, you good? We good?
Yeah.
We good to go?
Right.
But it was just smooth.
Yeah. Smooth
all
and fast.
one motion and fast and
Yeah.
kind of scary looking, but like amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like to see more of him just doing singles stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just I'm thinking like, well, I've seen a lot of him, but like as part of the Hurt Syndicate and tag teaming and like holding those titles for a long time and like you want them off the, all of that.
And I'm certainly,
like,
I'm not thrilled that this is happening because Bobby Lashley is injured, don't get me wrong, and also like, why do I have MVP on commentary also?
Yeah.
But I'm very happy to see Shelton having this kind of singles moment. I did think it was funny that Mox blew off the handshake offered and at the beginning, and then in the middle of the match was like giving him the finger.
Yeah.
But then at the end he does the handshake and clearly is like saying some nice things to Shelton, and it was just kind of cute and weird.
It's a very fun little encapsulation of the Death Riders, of the Mox story in the Death Riders, the Mox C2 story of like, if you can show me you can really go and bring everything you've got, then I respect you.
Yeah,
otherwise,
it's really strange. It's a very complicated story, I will say.
It is.
Then we cut to Darby, who is skateboarding down the corridors. And then I guess he sees that the camera's on him. So he says, let me get off my skateboard, and then just run around holding my skateboard, looking like a chicken with my head cut off. And he is looking for Pac.
Like Pac's just, I don't know. I guess... Why wouldn't Pac be there? But there's a part in the moment I was like Pac's just going to be in a locker room.
I suggested that Darby find the nearest hand dryers because Pac might be under them. But so then we cut to a little clip from Wrestle Kingdom. I thought that was a really nice touch. They show us a longer clip on Collision, but what we get on Dynamite was just a little clip about Tanahashi's last match. They don't mention the part where Takeshita lost the IWGP title right before then, but, it was just nice to see that they did a little feature on Tanahashi's last match. And at the time, I wrote, I personally think Takeshita should come directly for Okada's international belt the moment that they return to AEW television. And I still do feel that way. But we'll talk about, when we talk about Collision, a couple more things happen then, but that was my thought before Collision. Then we are getting the match with the Demand versus Jack Perry and his two mystery partners, because Jet Speed is not in the picture. First we see the render with, you see Jack Perry and then the two blank figures behind him, and then you see the Demand on the right side. And their faces are so fucking funny. Ricochet has this face like, ew, who farted?
Yeah.
And Toa Leona and Bishop Khan behind him have this like stank face on that's like, we know it was you. We're standing right behind you. Yeah. Anyway, it's a very funny choice.
Yeah, I think it's, even just without the humor, it's like, why you guys look angry, but why is Ricochet look like
looks
he's
a little
like,
confused and disgusted.
Yeah.
And they look really pissed off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as some folks predicted, Jack Perry's mystery partners turn out to be the Young Bucks.
His elite friends.
I love this for them. I love also Toa Leona Samoan dropping 3 men.
Yes. Astounding. Astounding.
And this sounds obvious. I said this to Adam when we were watching it, but I'm sure this sounds really obvious. But as a relatively new fan, this was kind of the moment where I first got kind of a full appreciation of how much work the Young Bucks do on the ropes and with the ropes and manipulating the ropes to make their moves work. And it's just cool. I mean, it's always cool to watch them kind of Cirque du Soleil shit. But this was the first time I kind of realized, like, oh, they do a lot of, like, pulling the rope out of the way to facilitate X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. There's some moves that, like, I don't know. There was the one move where they, one of them hangs upside down on the top rope and the other one jumps over them. And in that moment, my thought is just like, why are you doing that? That's silly. But you're right. It's like pulling the rope
well, you're
down.
weighing down the rope so that they can do it. Anyway, it's very cool. It's cool to watch them in action. I'm happy to watch them looking happy again. And I'm happy to see them all kind of doing their babyface thing at the moment.
Yeah. For us not having watched, having started this year, we never got any of the like super kick party stuff. But it really works with that, even without that history or like the nostalgia of coming back to it. It also very much works as like a culmination of the storyline. Like, now we're coming out with our playful guitars and our tassels and like, I'm in.
Yeah.
It might never been a part of my past watching, but I'm in.
Ricochet slots in so well with these guys too, because the way he takes bumps is like he takes a DDT like nobody else. Like nobody looks that good taking like a destroyer or a DDT. Like he is really unmatched with that. We get more demand action in Collision as well, but I just want to shout out how much fun it is to watch Ricochet.
Yeah, and I think particularly when you get these guys who really somehow they feel and work with the momentum of those kinds of moves.
Yeah.
They work so well together. There was I think it was that match where he participated in, which would probably be the way to put it, participated in a destroyer, where he took the destroyer.
Yeah,
but like,
exactly.
And it just looks like this amazing manipulation of like gravity and momentum.
Crazy combo move, and then one of the Bucks, I think, got a destroyer on Ricochet, and it's like, well, they're also fucking smooth.
And just watching it again, like a replay, it's so cool to see how it all works. Like Ricochet does a little jump, but it looks like the momentum's doing a thing that it's not, and I just love those moves.
That's the magic of pro wrestling. Yeah. Our good guys here get the win, and then we get this interesting tag team kind of moment where Davis and Doyle come out and attack the Bucks. Then Jet Speed run out to make the save. The lights go out. And once again, Andrade El Ídolo makes the same dramatic appearance that he made on the 6th anniversary show, as if none of us remembered that. But, okay, fine, redo.
Yeah,
fair. And then for some reason, FTR shows up with Stokely in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that was weird.
And I'm thinking, are you guys setting up for like a 4-way tag team feud? Which is great, but then what's Andrade doing there? They were just like, let's put everybody in the tableau.
It's very it all felt like a bunch of action that wasn't necessarily connected. Some of it was, and then we added Andrade, and then we added FTR.
Right.
What does FTR care about any of that? It's like, what?
Yeah, I'm hoping, otherwise it makes no fucking sense if FTR shows up, if it's not like, look at all these tag teams,
Yeah.
So it sounds like...
Where's the Bang Bang Gang?
We're kind of pissed about that. We're still a little pissed about that.
Salty. All right.
And then I wrote a note here, because when I said, what's Andrade doing there? You said, someone's got to catalog the hams. And I really liked that. Anyway,
I forgot.
Yeah, so I hate how the Bang Bang Gang apparently don't matter anymore in this story, even though clearly over their little arc with FTR, they really had their number.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's weird, just a meta comment on wrestling. It is weird because one of the things I like about AEW is when there are things that are like attention to detail and long-term storytelling. But it also seems from watching other wrestling and like the indie shows and stuff and AEW, there's also this like thing where it's like, well, we'll just drop this for a while and the audience, like toddlers, will forget what's been presented until we bring it back in, which is also like, that's fair play. It's simple.
True.
It's comic
also,
book stuff.
They're not wrong.
It's true.
Yeah.
But there's this weird clash of you're trying to watch it with like paying attention and caring. You're trying to watch it for like the elevated storylines that happen, and then it's just like, okay, well, that happened and forget about it till later. Oh, okay.
Right. I'm not necessarily the most insightful person, but I do have pretty good attention to detail and pattern recognition.
Right.
So for me, I'm always kind of looking for like, well, oh, this happened and then this happened again 3 weeks later. Like, what does this mean?
Right. Well, and that happens sometimes. You'll get like, oh, the same move was used this time and that time. And then it was countered or whatever. You know?
Sometimes it leads to something interesting, and sometimes it's just like, oh, that was a little bit of a wet fart.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure, I would hope that eventually there will also be like the feud with the Bang Bang Gang will get picked back up, or they'll come back and some stuff will happen. I would hope. And I'm fine with that, like taking a break. It also feels weird when it's just like, oh, well, this stuff is happening and they're just nowhere. It's like, oh, okay, all right.
I think it speaks to like what we keep saying amongst ourselves is that what we don't like is when we get the impression that it's just spinning the wheels.
Yeah.
I've said that, if I were running a wrestling promotion, I would pretty much do everything possible to avoid giving my audience the impression that I'm just spinning the wheels.
Yeah. I think part of the reason I'm still salty about the Bang Bang Gang storyline just ending where it did is, and, not really paying off the way I thought it was playing out, is partly that sense of, well, we're going to do this thing eventually in a few months. So now that everybody kind of meta knows that, nothing we do until then matters.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay.
I mean, I hope we're wrong. Like,
I would love to be wrong. I'm happy to be swerved.
We don't necessarily know this for sure.
No.
But that's just the way it feels right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been reminded a little bit that, like, well, Cope and Cage are coming back and they have a feud with FTR. So but anyway, we can talk about that too much. So
yeah, no, that's interesting too, because I believe that little promo spot was on Collision.
Okay.
So, and we'll go through all that, but it is interesting that they kind of do this little sort of tag team, everybody's looking at each other thing on Dynamite, and then on Collision it's like, but Cope and Cage are coming back,
right? Right.
Anyway, let's move on to happier topics.
Yes.
Willow Nightingale celebrates her new TBS Championship. She's got that fucking neon M from Mercedes' dressing room, and it's upside down like it's a W.
Yeah. As you do.
I'm delighted. She's got Stat and Harley with her. She's got a sheet cake. Mm-hmm. The lights were so fucky in the arena. Like, as soon as they turned them out for Andrade, it was like, then they malfunctioned for the rest of the night.
Some cable came loose.
Something happened. Willow assures us that we will have cake because the fans are chanting, we want cake, And she also assures us that even though she's holding like the tag team title and the TBS Championship now, she's willing to fight twice in one night, which frankly is good news for me because I get annoyed when the women's titles don't get defended because the same person is holding more than one. Or for example, when Mercedes Moné had the TBS Championship and then she's in these like World Championship matches on the pay-per-view, that meant the TBS Championship simply wouldn't get defended. And I understand that it's supposed to get defended on TV also, but like it just felt like the net effect was fewer women's matches, you know? So I appreciate that Willow is like on it.
Yep.
And then she says, and I know she wants to come out, so Mercedes, why don't you come on out? And, you know, the CEO music comes on, and Mercedes comes out wearing the most insane, like, I thought immediately like Lady Gaga and Beyonce in the telephone video, you know, only like a 15, 16-year-old reference. I don't know what the fuck, like a bridal... It looks kind of like a chic bridal outfit, but also like a morning outfit.
Like a glamorous morning outfit. Yeah.
And then she wastes no time getting into the ring and like screaming and freaking out, and her wig is all over the place, and it was amazing. And of course, she eventually gets power bombed onto the sheet cake, which is what everybody was hoping for.
I love that she's just like can't stand that they're celebrating. It's just like...
I love it so fucking much. I'm considering, like, my birthday is like 7 months away. I feel like I probably have enough time to learn how to take a power bomb onto a sheet cake. Should I call Create-A-Pro?
Yes. Yes. I can help make this happen.
My other happy 43rd birthday. Let's get power bombed through a sheet cake. Anyway, my friend Peter, my other favorite thing about the follow-up of this whole thing, my friend Peter from college, he also got into wrestling last year after watching Dimension 20 Takedown. Okay. And so that was really funny when we realized this about each other. Yeah. And so we've been messaging a little bit here and there about wrestling. And he messaged me and he said he thought he was calling the cake spot Mercedes going into the cake and then kind of like lying there in desolation while the other gals dance around her. Yeah. He was calling it the Paul Hollywood ending. And I'm I'm so mad that I didn't think of this joke.
That is great.
And I said to him, it's a good thing I have scruples, because otherwise I would just fucking steal it.
That's beautiful. Paul Hollywood ending.
Shout out to Peter. Anywho, we cut then to Mark Briscoe addressing us from the chicken farm in Delaware. He does his rendition of the Hechicero Alchemy Rave Hands, and then he says something about the word of the day being reign and defend.
Yeah.
God, I wish I thought Hechicero was going to win.
Yeah. I mean, I love Mark.
Yeah.
I also like him having it, and I want him to have a couple more defenses.
Yeah.
But Hechicero is so great.
I know. Definitely my
big titty goth girlfriend.
That's not what I was going to say, but okay. You know what? Let's leave it at that. I was going to say definitely my favorite member of the Don Callis family, and then I was like trying to evaluate whether that was true or not. But that's not really a question I want to answer, so let's just leave it at that. We cut to another little promo. This was a very promo-heavy episode. Which is not a problem. Like it's a new year. We have a lot of stories to set up, so I'm cool with that. AEW has no stories. We cut to Tekla and the Triangle of Madness congratulating Kris Statlander on making friends, or basically just reading her for filth and accusing her of being ready to betray her friends and like hanging around with people she hates and blah blah blah. And effectively the end of this is that they're challenging Kris, Willow, and Harley to a trios match. Absolute fucking delight.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that.
And speaking of things we're ready for, we got a little like Ring of Honor detour, kind of almost.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito against World Tag Team Champion Sammy Guevara, which just feels like a weird matchup, but it's
kind of yes and no. So I'm kind of intrigued I'm feeling now there's a lot of pressure the various top guys in Ring of Honor are putting on Bandito that I didn't really feel last year.
Yeah.
Over the course of the whole year, there weren't that many guys kind of being like, I'm coming for you, Bandito.
Yeah.
And now I feel like they're all doing it, like Blake Christian and Sammy Guevara. Like, I feel like these guys are starting to circle like wolves.
Yeah. There is that sense, especially after the final battle.
Yeah, I think the survival of the fittest match, I remember thinking that was kind of a weird way to have a title match, but it set up a nice thing where like now all these guys are hungry for it.
They want it. And then this has that extra kayfabe logic of Bandito has earned the AEW men's world title shot.
Yeah.
And Sammy's like kind of thinks he doesn't deserve it, basically.
Right, and Sammy also thinks that like somehow if he kicks Bandito's ass enough, he will have the men's world title shot, which makes no fucking sense. Yeah. What logic is that? Yeah. But here we are.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm enjoying this particular angle that Sammy's taking. I know we've said this already, but I enjoyed him like coming to the commentary desk and being a cheesy heel.
Yeah, I think he's added an element of cheese that makes the slime more palatable.
Cheese with a Z. Definitely cheese with a Z.
Yes, definitely.
And also, like, he can still show out.
Yeah. It was a great match.
It was. I really enjoyed. Sammy got this crazy shooting star press to the floor and knocked down Bandito. And the crowd, like, you have to cheer it. And the crowd then goes to chant, "You still suck."
Yeah.
You still suck. It's like, well, we had to hand it to you for a second, but you're still an asshole and we still hate you. I like really that was the correct energy. And of course, Bandito got the win here. We're setting up for his title match at Maximum Carnage. And as much as I adore Bandito, I think maybe my least hot take that I've ever had is that I wish the 21-plex looked a little less contrived. I think it was the match against Beast Mortos where actually, for once, the person taking the move made it look really spontaneous and it looked cool.
Yeah, and I feel like that was both of them. Bandito also like moved into doing it a lot faster.
Yeah, so it's possible. Yeah. Again, like the move with Shelton Benjamin and Jon Moxley, like it's possible to make these moves that often feel like very set up or very stilted. It's possible to make them look fluid and cool.
Yeah.
But usually, unfortunately, with the 21-plex, it doesn't. So I feel like, just do any one of your other amazing moves that you have.
Yeah, it's a little set piecey at times, but I don't know. I guess that's fine in wrestling sometimes too.
Right.
You know?
And of course we know immediately following this match is when we're going to get the advertised MJF fucking talking.
Yep.
I enjoyed this spot.
I thought they did a great job with it.
They really did. So he comes out with Jon Cruz as his Spanish interpreter or like valet type guy. So funny. I personally was kind of obviously like having a little bit of dread about this, and all at the same time, I found myself kind of giving a side eye to some folks on the internet. There was some commentary going on like MJF's probably going to be super racist, or like maybe he's going to make jokes about ICE coming for him, or like just this shit that like when I read it, I just clenched my stomach, you know? And first of all, a few people, of course, like if there are a few people I feel like I know well enough to know the intention of the person saying this thing, but there are plenty of people, like if I see some randos saying, oh, MJF's going to get super racist, I honestly don't know if you're saying that in a doomer way or if you're secretly looking forward to it.
Yeah,
you know, like the vibes are off.
Sometimes it reads a little bit like I can't wait for him to piss people off.
Yeah, and that's the thing about doomerism too. Even if you're not like overtly getting pleasure out of it, there's something about doomerism that feels almost eager for the worst thing to happen, because then you're right.
Yeah.
You know? And so like I'm very cautious about trying not to let myself go down those paths with my thinking.
Shout out to Carol in Pluribus.
Shout out to Carol in Pluribus. I don't
character I can imagine having that feeling. Anyway,
I will be the Menounos to Carol here. Shout out to Pluribus. Shout out Vince Gilligan.
Apologies if these references go right over your head.
Go watch Pluribus. Yeah. Anyway, look, I'm very relieved that they took a very different tack here and they didn't indulge those impulses. I think it was more successful as a promo this way as well. Our friends at Waffly Bollocks rightly pointed out that they made sure that MJF was the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Assuming Bandito doesn't understand English, and then you know, that worked well with the crowd in Texas too, because you have a lot of people who speak Spanish in the crowd and like a lot of people who love their luchadors.
Yeah.
So obviously he speaks and understands English.
Right.
And that's funny.
Yeah.
Given the whole situation.
Yeah.
But also like that might have hit different in Manchester, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm glad they did it this way. As much as I think it's unlikely, I think they're throwing a few crumbs to those of us who think Bandito might actually have a shot at winning this week. I want to believe. Okay? Like, I admit here, I want to believe.
Putting up the Fox Mulder poster.
Yeah. The story AEW keeps telling here is that everybody's underestimating Bandito or just outright ignoring him. At first, on the New Year's Smash show, when I got pretty annoyed because all the like men's world title contenders are talking amongst themselves and ignoring Bandito, the fact that he actually has a shot already. He's first in line and they're not even talking about him at all. And that, I was pissed off because that didn't feel deliberate to me. Or it felt like, oh, okay, so that's what AEW thinks.
Right.
But now we've had 2 collisions and a Dynamite since then, and I think that was deliberate.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
There have been several more signs that Bandito is not to be dismissed.
Right.
I think, I'm not sure if any of this translates into him winning the title, but I mean, I think it should.
Yeah.
It would be brisk and refreshing, like jumping into a swimming pool on a hot day, right? Like it would be a shock to the system in a really fun and wonderful way. And I don't think there's a downside.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, well, obviously, just do it. Let's just say, like, okay, during this promo, MJF saying, well, let's just skip the match because you know I'll win anyway. And maybe I'll grant you the privilege of having a pay-per-view match in 5 or 10 years, kiddo.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on.
It's very, I mean, I've gone on the record saying I sort of think it would be good to do a hot potato thing. I would be down for that. I think I would love for Bandito to win. I think in my heart of hearts, I still feel like they're not going to do that. Not because like not because I think something else that's terrible, like, oh, I think they're going to, have it on MJF forever or whatever. I just think it feels a little like, part of me is like, I can also read this as the classic, well, the challenger is set up to be a reasonable, like a valid challenger.
Yeah.
They're strong. The defender is a little worried. Like that sets up the stakes of the match. So for me, I'm like, well, you still want to have the match to have like good solid stakes that we're like, well, maybe he will win. Maybe this is, even if it's like, well, okay, but he's the Ring of Honor champion. He's not generally been in the running. I can see it just being like, well, okay, but he doesn't win.
Of course. Yeah.
It's sort of what I expect. But I would love for him to win, and I'm really down for the hot potato. Like, I don't know, MJF doesn't want to have it forever. He just wants to be in movies. So, like,
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to believe until the third count.
Yes, no, absolutely. I'm ready for, I think it would be really fun.
Yeah.
Bandito, AEW World Champion and Ring of Honor World Champion.
Fuck yeah, 2 belts, Bandito.
Yes.
Then you can, like, that's the other thing. You've got all these guys coming for the Ring of Honor belt. It would kind of look shitty to have him drop the belt without something better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see where they go.
I could see this going to a draw and then like a rematch at a later date.
Sure.
Just to, I don't know.
Sure. So for everything I said about the 21 plex a moment ago, the 21 plexes on Jon Cruz and then MJF were hysterical.
They were great.
So I kind of take back what I said.
Yeah. It was very funny, and I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Like, it was like the Beast Mortos edition of the 21 plex felt the closest to believable.
Right.
These weren't exactly close to, they were still to me a little more believable than it sometimes is, but they were very funny.
There was nothing believable about it, but it was very funny. And then this was followed by a Brody King promo, which, like, not only is a Brody King promo talking about violence as a way to, obviously for him, it's like professional violence, putting food on your family's table, but also violence as a way to protect your community. That's a breath of fucking fresh air given the political climate of the US right now. But then in story, to me, having this little push for Brody also kind of is also a breadcrumb that implies that Bandito might be winning.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep. I mean, I really would love a hot potato, and I think if you're going to do it, it's an opportunity. I think it doesn't necessarily cheapen the belt to give it out to some folks that have already been voiced in the past as like, maybe Brody King should get the world title. Maybe, it's not like people haven't brought it up.
Right.
So
I'm not necessarily thinking that it should, well, whatever.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying like, oh, then therefore he gets it. But I'm saying like, okay, if Bandito gets it, it's a fun way to have Bandito and Brody, have to fight each other.
Yes, lovingly, respectfully.
Yeah. In the jet speed manner is how I would put it. As the role models for that kind of respectful matches between faces. But that doesn't mean Brody has to win it, at the next pay-per-view or something formulaic. But it would be fun to just be like, hey, let's pop this thing around a little bit. Again, partly, whether I've said it on the pod or not before, but in service also of this storyline of the guys who have been the top guys are really fucking distracted with each other right now.
Correct.
And their eyes are not on the ball. And we'll get to it, but if Swerve is having the effect that he desires on Hangman, this may lead some interesting places. Anyway.
It may indeed. It may indeed. So this lovely, just to put a bow on that, this lovely match and promo combo was then followed up by Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir. Toni is fully in her pink and white playsuit era. Like, I love this.
I love it. Her outfits are amazing.
It's so demure and understated for her, which is very funny, I think, given that she's like systematically annihilating the Death Riders.
Yeah. Well, and it's playful. It's like she does come to the ring in like serious gear sometimes, like black colors or whatever.
She does, and this is like Annette Funicello. This is like it's cute.
Yeah,
it's very femme and like mild for her, which is interesting. I enjoyed. So Marina came out with Danny Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. Danny immediately was showing signs. It looked like to me he was intimidated by Toni Storm, which is as it should
As
be.
it should be, yes.
And perhaps he's learning from Claudio.
Yeah.
Fun match, too short, because it ended in a DQ.
Mm-hmm.
Danny and Yuta, and by the way, I'm so sorry, I can't remember who this was, but one of our Blue Sky pals referred to Danny and Yuta as the fuck shit twins, fuck and shit.
Very good.
I kind of want to refer to them that way from now on. Anyway, fucking shit pulled Paul Turner out of the ring, and he rightly ends the match, awards the win to Toni. Marina, for her part, like shortly before this happened, it looked like she was making a hand gesture that looked like she was waving the guys off and asking them not to interfere.
Yeah, she was doing that thing at her throat.
Like, don't do it, don't do it.
It can be... Part of me is like, I could almost read it as a like, finish it, like, you know, but it's not the thing where you draw your finger under your throat like I'm gonna slit their throat. It was
more like, don't do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
So Marina and Toni both looked super pissed that they didn't get their real match. Toni wasn't happy to win by DQ.
She doesn't want that.
And of course, Marina's not happy to lose by DQ, especially if she did ask the guys to lay off. And I think all that bodes really well for a future rematch, which is what I want to see.
I want to see that.
So after this happens, Marina decks Toni. Luther comes out to give Marina a very stern talking to. Fucking shit climb into the ring with these like evil hyena looks on their faces, like they're coming for Luther.
Yeah.
Mina rolls into the ring to attend to Toni. Then Orange Cassidy's music hits.
I think Marina gave Mina like a super kick or something. And
oh, did
out.
she?
I think that's
okay,
how
she
ended up on the ground. But
well, she rolled. Yeah, okay. And so Orange's music hits, and Roddy Strong sprints up into the ring. Orange is sauntering down the ramp, absolutely unbothered in typical Orange fashion. There are so many great potential setups here, and like Roddy and Marina are staring each other down. Marina spits and hits Roddy from like 8 to 10 feet away. I don't know how you spit like that. Maybe they practice at home. Claudio, meanwhile, comes up and jumps the barricade while ripping off his shirt, which is like extremely coordinated. I would trip and fall if I tried to do that.
Same.
I love the idea of Roddy and Marina potentially being the first intergender singles match in AEW.
Yeah.
I get the feeling they're both advocating for this.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's how you sell it to the network, right? Yep. Like, they're married in real life. Look, they're in love.
Yeah, I'm down.
Let them fight on television. Anyway, so Orange makes it into the ring. He helps Toni up. And then after a moment, he also helps Mina up and gets into this pose where he's got one gal on each arm. Someone in the crowd has a love conquers all sign that they're holding right behind them, which is really
very good work.
Nice touch. And I can't read lips, but like they're talking while they're in this clinch. And Orange, it looks like Orange is saying to Toni, like, that was going so well, or you were doing so well.
Something like that.
And Toni clearly says, thank you, Orange Man.
Yeah.
We've gone from Citrus Boy to Orange Man. We're getting more specific. And I want to take a moment and just talk about the introduction of Orange Cassidy into Toni and Mina's kayfabe marriage as like sort of a chaos agent or like a complicating factor. I will say, as a bisexual person, Orange's in-ring persona is extremely unhorny.
Yeah.
And I really love that about him. And let's be real, Toni Storm is the horniest character in all of AEW. And so that shades all interactions between her and anyone else.
Yeah.
They're allowed to be friends.
Yep.
Just because Toni is like insanely horny doesn't mean they can't be friends. Also, that was point A. Point B, Toni the wrestler is bi in real life. And unless I missed it, she has never said that her character isn't bi. So I am personally a little bit disheartened at some of the fan response, either as a joke or a lament, that like, oh, she was a lesbian and now Orange turned her bi through the sheer strength of his hotness. Or like somehow the Toni-Mina relationship is now less queer because there's a man involved. And like, whatever, whether you're like serious or you think it's funny, I think that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I personally think this whole thing is great fun, and I kind of envision it a little bit as like a queer platonic throuple situationship. And like, I want to just hang out at the breakfast table with them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I love it.
It's great. Yeah, the taint of like the concept of the
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Please go ahead.
Well, considering what I was about to say, the legitimizing dick, like that sort of
Exactly.
trope is very, very annoying. I will flip it just briefly in the sense that, like, not flip it, but I very much agree that I enjoy the throuple jokes. I enjoy the sort of like questions around what's happening here, and I very much appreciate, like, regardless of what may or may not be happening, it's entirely reasonable for Mina to be like, what is happening here? I feel a little bit uncertain and threatened by this development. And it's like...
And let's be real, if Tony's not bi, why would Mina be jealous?
Yes, right?
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, but I will also just speak to I love interpretations of storylines that are bringing to the surface or opening up queer and other possibilities. But there's also something in me that deeply, a lot of the times and oftentimes it's usually, for me, I'm thinking about like male-male relationships in fiction or what have you. I'm often very much like, male intimacy is tough, and men are not supposed to be intimate friends either, unless there are certain circumstances that are with each other, unless there are certain circumstances that are unlocked, like, oh, well, it's a funeral, so we can, or something that's like transcends, some event or something that transcends the like blocks that we have to be, that we have to have our walls up. A little NADPOD reference for people. Anyway, and like, I would never take away for anybody who is just hungering for representation and reading into male relationships in fiction where things are ambiguous. I'm not going to take away the desire to see yourself reflected in that, but there's also, for me, the catch-22 of, we can't just have regular it's hard to talk about this. I don't want to use the word, we can't just have non-sexual male intimacy either. And like, if we have that and then people are hungering for a representation and reading into, well, it's also not just like there were roommates, it's something more.
My God, roommates.
But then you always get the reaction to that of like, no, they aren't. It's like it immediately also then shuts down the like, well, maybe they're just having a complex male relationship.
Yeah.
And
I think we've gotten so used to queer baiting in media over the past 20 plus years of kind of will they, won't they, and like fans seeking that representation. And like looking for subtext that maybe was never really there. And like, I don't think that's necessarily what's happening in this story.
No,
but
I know
think
I've gotten a little sidetracked.
No, but I think you're getting at something very real. Like, even if that's not specifically what's happening in this story, I think our brains are kind of wired to be sensitive to stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think to bring it back to part of the reason this comes up for me with Orange and Tony is I very much, the tango is the tango is a sexualized dance. It's a sexual dance. It's an erotic dance. Is the right word. Yeah.
And I didn't even mention like how funny it was that Marina turned it on Toni in the match. And it's
Marina's like, mocking her.
No, it's such a good, and I love how Marina came to play. Like, she has, with this feud with Mina and Toni, specifically, she has been like, oh, you want to be horny? Okay. Like, I can do that. Yeah,
it's great energy.
Sorry. But she brought the tango into it, but,
But like the tango is an erotic dance, but it is also like, part of me just wants to be like, these two people can just like, the men's and women's division don't interact that much. So when they do, it's lovely for these two people who are both very like cartoon, larger than life characters to be like, oh, you're interesting. Oh, you're interesting. And part of me hungers for that to not be sexual. Part of me hungers for like, can this man and this woman who are just very interesting, complex people just have a friendship.
Right.
And Mina still would be entirely justified in being like, what's going on here?
Right.
Like.
And I personally kind of feel like that's where this is going.
I hope so. I hope so.
And like, would I be happy to see them, have some stupid promo where they're all like having breakfast in bed together? Yes. But
sure.
like, you could go that direction if you want to. But I kind of feel like what you're saying is kind of what is really happening.
Yeah, I mean, and I hope so just for my own feelings about it, but also, you know, hey, if you're out there horny for Orange Cassidy and Toni Storm to be in a throuple with Mina, enjoy. I'm not
Right.
saying it shouldn't happen or anything like that. Just
Right.
it's complicated sometimes.
It's complicated.
He's like Bugs Bunny, you know? He's like he's a cartoon character, and to some degree, and it's like, do I want to think about Bugs Bunny fucking? Somebody might, but not I. It's not for me. Anyway,
I am going to stay silent on this particular line of questioning.
I'm just gonna move
you.
away from that door now.
Okay, so let's just move on to the person on this episode of Dynamite who is actually the most calm, polite, and reasonable human in the entire night, and that is the Bastard Pac. Like, what?
He's the most sensible man on the show at the
Truly.
moment.
Truly. Yeah. So we go backstage. Renee Paquette is asking him about Darby demanding a match, demanding a rematch. Pac is like cool, calm, collected. Says, I'm not here to entertain Darby. Like, I've beaten him twice.
Right.
So what does he want? Like,
right.
I don't owe this man to like cave to whatever crazy shit he's demanding. Darby runs in looking fully insane. Again, he's saying he's beat every Death Rider. And I'm like, Marina says, what? Excuse you, Darby. Right? Like, Marina should fucking mutilate you.
Yep.
Pac tells him, jog on, Bonnie lad. Which I fucking love.
Perfect.
Darby, for whom consent is apparently not super important, responds with a fire extinguisher and then threatens to break Pac's ankle if he doesn't agree to a match. And I don't know why anyone would be rooting for Darby in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm thinking throughout all of this, and especially in the recounting here, who's the face here?
Correct. With faces like this, who needs heels?
Right?
I'm sorry.
Well, and Darby reads like Pac reads like a face. That's like a...
Pac is acting completely reasonably.
Yeah. Like, if that was Hangman talking to MJF back in August, like, I beat you twice already. Why would I have another fight with you?
Right. Exactly.
Right? Like,
well, that's what happened. And then MJF was threatening to doused Briscoe with
and Darby's
gasoline
doing the same fucking thing MJF did.
Correct.
Like, what?
Correct. So... Pac does finally get back in action on Collision, so we'll talk about him and we'll talk about this whole situation again in a few moments. But I, frankly, think this is bullshit. And I don't want to hear about Darby being a babyface right now, but we'll talk. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. So the final thing, the main event. It's weird for a lights out match to be considered a main event because it's supposed to be after the event. But the main event here is the lights out match. Finally, Hangman and Swerve versus Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs. I can't think of Hook without hearing Andy from the group chat in my head going, fucking Hook.
Fucking Hook.
Shout out to Andy.
Speaking for my heart.
Generally, I agree with him on everything having to do with Hook, but I will say... Hook is looking ripped as fuck right now, for one thing. And apparently he will be working at least one indie match this week. He will be at that same Limitless event that MJF is theoretically maybe defending the title at.
Good for him.
So I'm just going to give him a teensy bit of credit for doing what he should have been doing for the past 5 or 6 years. Keep it up, kid.
Yes.
So Hangman and Swerve come out in the stands separately, wearing their chains, which I've talked about. Hangman comes out first. He grabs a can of beer from a fan. He takes a long swig and then politely hands the can back to the fan, and the fan immediately starts drinking from it again. Like, thanks for the backwash, sir.
Even without that, I already was a little grossed out by this, but yeah.
Which blue sky freak are you? And then Swerve is coming down the separate set of stairs, and there's this tiny girl. You pointed her out to me. There's this tiny girl hanging on the railing, looking up at him like, hi.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, parents, please rein in your children. AEW has already established that this is a lights out match, and they will not be responsible.
Well, Trent isn't around, though, so kids are safe.
No, I don't think... I don't think Swerve would ever accidentally,
Yes.
or I don't think he would intentionally harm a child other than maybe threatening Hangman's infant. But, like, obviously this child would not
Yes.
intentionally get knocked over by Swerve, but come on. God forbid, you know? Anyway, so the lights in the venue continue to be totally fucky here because they have to, like, turn the lights off to signal that it's a lights out match. And then they turn them back on again. And for a while, we thought they were leaving the lights off and doing spotlights on the talent to, like
as an artistic
heighten the
choice
drama.
or something.
Yeah. But I think it was just because they couldn't get the lights back on and they wanted people to be able to see. It's
think
like
so.
kind of fucked up.
I think so.
I came into this match thinking, I don't know if this looks good for Hanger and Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of didn't necessarily think they were going to win. They've been shown to be really messy and very easily distracted since they kind of reunited, if you want to use that word. We get a moment where Hook baits Hangman into chasing him around the ring so that Hobbs can deck him.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, oh, okay, maybe revenge is not to be served at this, at this particular match. Eventually we get Swerve handing Hangman the stapler and he gets the fucking crazy eyes.
Beautiful.
Crazy face, crazy everything.
I'd like to see him practicing that in the mirror.
He's like, just screwing his face up into weird contortions. Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. JR, my favorite thing that JR said all night was when the Ops Dojo runs in and they have to explain the Ops Dojo to him and he goes, "Dojo my ass."
Correct.
A stopped clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say anything. I have a couple other things to say about this match, but it's all kind of disjointed. So I don't know if you had anything.
I kind of assumed Hangman and Swerve would win, mainly just because they are the lights out cage match, death match veterans here. But I would have been open to an upset, and I absolutely a few times in the match were like, "Oh no!" There were some good moments of throwing me off.
There were a lot of good moments in both directions, I think. Notably, Hobbs chains Swerve and Hangman together by the neck, which reminded me of this Erte poster my sister had in her first apartment, and I was very young, and I was very confused about erotic wall decor involving chains.
Okay,
anyway, what was I saying? So Prince Nana came in with a cup of hot, fresh Prince Nana coffee to make the save. Let me focus. This match had a little bit of everything.
It did. I love that just because he was already involved a little earlier and like took a bump or got punched, something like that, without coffee. So I'm just like picturing him like in the middle there, like going under the ring and like getting another cup of coffee.
Yeah,
like okay,
he's got to have his coffee.
Yeah.
I love the fan with the fan is like super well placed and has this sign that just says "Just Kiss" in huge letters.
Good work.
Thank you for your service.
Good work.
That fucking Deadeye and Stomp combo on the cinder blocks really hurt my knees just watching it. I hope Hangman's okay. I hope everybody's okay. And then Hook almost gets Hangman for the 3 count in this stupid little quick roll up right at the end, and I'm like, no!
Yeah.
No! Thank God that's not. If that's how they ended it, I would have thrown a fucking fit. Anyway, justice is ultimately served. I'm curious to see if this is kind of the bow on the Ops and Hangman and Swerve story, or if they
I wonder
continue it. I appreciate that it was like Hook tapping out with the chain around his neck. Mox-esque. It's.
I appreciate how that all went down. I'm frustrated still by the turn of events with Samoa Joe and the Ops and all of that. We've talked about it. I think what frustrates me at the moment is just that I feel like there are some cool things you could do with the setup there.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they're just going to be like, it was just mechanical and now we'll forget about it. That's sort of the feeling I have. But I'm again.
Yeah,
whatever,
it's hard to say.
Whatever.
I kind of want to see if they keep Hangman and Swerve going as a tag team because I feel like there's a lot of interesting potential stuff there.
Yeah.
And like we're saying, like Swerve is clearly enjoying watching Hangman get crazier and crazier.
So that's the thing. I like them working together, and I'm totally down for tag team action. I think I'm so used to their stories having continuing narrative flow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sort of like, in my mind, stuck at the moment. Okay, they got revenge on Hobbs and Hook at least.
Yeah.
What's next?
Right.
They're sort of...
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
And like, I want to... the idea of them going through tag team matches sounds great, but part of me is also like, okay, but do they have beef with anybody? Like, just feels kind of like, all right, yeah, but who, you know,
Yeah.
what's the meat on the hook there? And I don't know. Anyway, laughing at my inadvertent, not much meat on Hook. So I guess he said he's been working out. So
he's looking very cut, at least.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm here for them making each other worse, the Meow gang.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure where this goes right now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We've talked a little bit about like maybe Swerve as being sort of a secret heel or not so secret heel or turning heel.
Yeah.
I sort of like the idea potentially. I think I didn't really like it at first because I'm like, they had the whole thing way back in early summer of like a little bit of reconciliation and like,
yeah, I think it's a little messy to just be like, I was a heel the whole time, ha ha ha.
It would be a little cheap just to be like, well, I said I deserved it, but I wasn't being your friend. I was just helping you. Like, it'd be a little cheap to just be like, I never really was your friend. But I also do kind of like the idea of like Swerve trying to see how far he can push Hangman.
Sure.
And like someone later on, like, I don't know, Ospreay or someone else sort of pulling Hangman back and being like, look what you're becoming, you know? Yeah.
What? Yeah. Yeah. So, far from over. At least the overarching thing is far from over. We'll see where it goes, and we'll see if the Ops feud continues.
Yeah.
Should we continue to Collision, or should we do a little Ring of Honor detour? I think...
what do you think?
Probably Collision.
Let's go straight to Collision.
Okay. So we open Collision with really, there's some fun shit happening. This is kind of why I was like, oh, should we do Ring of Honor? Because we had a fun trios match with Pac, Yuta, and Garcia representing the Death Riders versus Skyflight with Mox on commentary. And we entered to Mox's music, which I found quite interesting, but they all came out together. Really nice work here by Dante and Darius Martin. I feel like they're getting a little bit of a push, and I think I feel that way because we've been watching Ring of Honor and seeing
they've been back on Ring of Honor a little bit more than they had been for a while. And the fact that Dante filled in for, was it Scorpio Sky?
Yes.
Yeah, filled in
against Shelton Benjamin.
And got a little promo on the mic during that and all of that. Yeah, it does feel a little pushy.
And especially Darius, like we've seen Dante Martin here and there, but I feel like I haven't seen Darius Martin get to show out too much. And he's a meaty guy who can fly.
Yeah, no, there were some
great moves. I really enjoyed that. Zayda Steel came out with Skyflight to the surprise of everybody who doesn't watch Honor Club. She is on Honor Club. She announced that they asked her to join Skyflight because Layla Gray is out with a torn ACL. She then mixed it up with Marina at ringside, which I thought was really fun.
I think Marina made an exhibition of her spitting skills there as well.
That's true too. Marina can spit really far, or really accurately, perhaps.
Like a snake.
Yeah, so Pac winds up getting the brutalizer on Darius for the win. And I figured Pac would get the finishing move because of the setup with Darby.
Yeah, right.
Then Zayda is like really mixing it up with Marina. She gets decked by Megan Bain, who comes out with Penelope Ford. And I'm just like, oh, there's a lot going on here.
There's a lot going on
This was fun.
Including Mox saying a lot of interesting things on commentary. A lot of it a little goofy, I feel like, but the thing that jumped out at me is he talking about Danny, said that Danny wants to actualize the best version of himself, and it just struck me as really like a perfect encapsulation of Mox's view of the Death Riders and his like modus operandi.
Yeah.
Getting people to actualize the best version of themselves.
I still think it's kind of fucky because it's like, okay, does the best version of yourself cheat all the time and like interfere in matches?
Right.
So that was what was so refreshing about the C2 and why we kind of all rallied, not all, but like why a lot of us rallied behind Mox at the end of the C2 there, because none of that shit was happening. So it's kind of like, how do you reconcile that, like Mox's whole thing with what's actually happening in the Death Riders, right? Like, that's the big question.
Sure.
And the other thing is, I think it was Tony Schiavone asking Mox on commentary if they were looking to add to the Death Riders. There was like an interesting line of questioning there. And he was very vague about it. He was just kind of like, oh, well, you know, our standards are very high kind of thing. But
It's
he didn't
quality,
say
not
yes
quantity.
or no.
Yeah.
So I already was thinking, as soon as the Pac versus Darby seed was planted, as soon as Darby said, I want to fight Pac, it took a little time to marinate in my mind, but then a light bulb went on over my head and I was like, oh, something's going to happen. This match is actually not about Pac and Darby. But it's going to expose the situation with Mox and the Death Riders. It's going to determine whether they're going to splinter and maybe turn on Mox or not. Because Mox and Darby have this very interesting history and very interesting constant tension and kind of love between them. And I don't see Mox allowing the Death Riders to murder Darby.
Yeah. I feel like it even came up, if not this time Mox was on commentary, one of the last times he was on commentary. I feel like they've prodded him a little bit about like his saying I quit in that match.
Yeah.
And Mox kind of like is evasive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's pointing at
loves him.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of telling, not showing. There is a bit of that here. So I'm not saying it's necessarily like a well-told story, but it's there.
Yeah.
And I think of all the people the Death Riders could try to murder, like Darby is a perfect...
calls for help again and they're all ganging up on Darby or something. And
yeah, I think at some point there's going to be a moment where it's like either Mox is doing something to defend Darby and they are like, you've gone soft, or they all unite and kill him. But like the other thing here, I was thinking this before the events of Dynamite. Once Darby then is like really acting very heelishly and making Pac take the match, I'm kind of like, okay, is this Darby about to be jumped into the faction? Because like, what are we doing here? The Death Riders are not a face faction. Even if Mox is like kind of a bit of a baby face almost. The Death Riders are a heel faction. Darby's acting like a fucking heel.
It's true.
It kind of wouldn't surprise me if this winds up with Darby getting the shit beaten out of him and then like accepted into being a Death Rider.
Would be interesting, yeah.
Or maybe he's beating the shit out of Pac. I don't know. I don't really want Darby to win this match.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done anything to show that he should win this match.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what's going to happen, but I do think that something is going to happen in this match that's bigger than just Pac v Darby.
Yeah.
It's going to be a plot point.
I just yearn for change, at least as regards Darby. I kind of don't care what it is at this point, but it's too much. My relationship with Darby's character can best be described as I want to like him.
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of superficial surface level things that I'm like, oh, he's fun, I want to like him. But for me personally, just like I'm bent on revenge and I'll do anything, and you know, I'll never quit. I need to finish you all off. It's just kind of boring, you know?
It also feels like an addiction story.
Well, yeah.
So it's a little bit hard to watch.
Yeah.
For like any of us who have been intimately involved with either our own or somebody.
Like I may have said before, Darby, one more hit of revenge and then you're done? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like unhinged in a way that feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In a number of ways. And
for those reasons, and also just narratively, like, okay, so you get your revenge again, then what?
Right.
Like, there's always then like, what? Okay, and then what?
Like, I don't think he's shown at all that he's disciplined enough to join the Death Riders. So I'm not saying I want that to happen, but I think something fucked up is going to happen in this match.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe it's Pac who's going to be like, this isn't what I signed up for. I'm out of here. Like, you guys are bullshit. I don't know. Something's going to happen.
I mean, maybe Darby
or maybe nothing happens.
Maybe Darby just beats Pac and then starts wearing colors and joins the conglomeration and is goofy.
Oh, stop. No. We like consent in the conglomeration.
Well, yes. Yes.
Speaking of, the next thing that happens, we have Lexi Nair with Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Roddy Strong backstage. Roddy goes out of his way to say, I'm not in the conglomeration. but I'm not
like
done.
hell.
But you know who I'm not done with is the Death Riders. I'm like, all right, you corny man. I think I said on Blue Sky today, like, Roddy doesn't understand that it's like being a Unitarian Universalist. Like, you can still be a Catholic or whatever. Like, you don't have to renounce your prior allegiances, and like, you could still, if you want to go to mass every Sunday, like, you could still show up. The conglomeration are not demanding anything of you. They're not demanding that you drop anything. They just say, if you're showing up with us, you're part of the conglomeration. That's literally all it is. And Briscoe gives a nice little speech about how Willow's got belts and he's got belts, and the momentum is
conglomeration's getting the gold.
The mighty Mo is with the glom, baby. I'm like, yes, I love it. And then we have a surprise match. We see Brody King in action for about 45 seconds.
He just comes out and
I didn't even catch who he was squashing. It was such a squash.
I did not either. My only note was it was a nice excuse for Bandito to then come out and say hi.
He's like, hey, buddy. Yeah. Anyway, love that. And then we got probably the best match of the night, right? No, I don't know. This was like a really good
collision.
This was a really good collision. El Clone versus Komander, like, what a fun match. Oh my God. Probably the match of the night, but like, it's amazing that it's even close. And El Clone no longer has the gigantic C for corny, so that's good. God. Poor Komander, though. Like, I knew that they weren't going to have El Clone lose right now. Like, you want him to mirror Hologram's record, right? Theoretically, maybe.
I still liked it. It was too late already because he already won one match, but I liked my stupid idea that he would just lose all the matches.
Yes.
He'll have a perfect zero record.
32
and then later, eventually, we get the 0 versus 1 match. And all right, anyway.
That's funny. I don't think Tony Khan at 8 or 12 years old thought that all through, but anyway, they both fucking rocked. Like, god damn, I love Lucha
fucking
Libre.
Lucha, man.
I really have nothing to say. Like, it was so fucking good. That match fucking kicked ass.
Well, and Komander, this is the thing. I feel like Komander is, I mean, he's young.
He's very young.
He's very talented and skilled. And like, for me, if I get to see a Komander match and he takes a pin, he's still like just going up in my book.
It's okay for him to get pinned and everything. It's fine. But
they both made each other look so good. Like, very well paired.
It was a great match.
Working with each other's moves,
And I'm excited to see. I haven't seen a lot of Arez, like his past work, but I know, like,
I think I've seen like 2 matches on YouTube, and
he's a very inventive guy, and so I'm very intrigued, to see more. And then we finally get our longer clip from WrestleKingdom, which includes Takeshita's loss of the IWGP belt, and like, then we get to see more of the Tanahashi and Okada situation. And then we're told that Don Callis will be calling in from Tokyo. I'm like, sure. But I'm also like, why?
Well,
right. And then it felt like, speaking of Tokyo, here's Mina Shirakawa. I don't know. Versus Lady Frost, which is like a really fun kind of random pairing. Wish this match were longer, but I really enjoyed it. Lady Frost did some kind of cannonball move. It was like a cannonball, but with extra mustard on it. It was like very nice. We had Tony and Nigel discussing Orange Cassidy on commentary, which like is funny, but also like, shut up. Watch the women's match challenge 2026. And Mina, at the beginning of this, just to like go with the side plot, Mina was handed 3 bouquets of flowers, presumably from a secret admirer. And then Lady Frost like kicked them out of her hands, but then they were handed back to her again at the end of the match.
And she was like clutching them preciously as she went up the ramp.
I don't know who gave me these, but I love flowers, It's like, relatable. I think we're all supposed to be wondering who gave them to her.
Naturally, of course.
And you know how I feel about this. If this is in fact a jilted spouse story, then I need them to be from the other jilted spouse. I need them to be from secret heel manager Chucky T.
I'm down. I love that.
I'm here for the drama.
I feel like that might be a little bit of a deep cut for some viewers, but
No. Could you imagine if Chucky T comes and like and Mina, God, it would be so devastating. It would be so devastating. The Timeless Love Bomb split up because Mina is just like jilted and she and Chuck form that. Yeah. Anyway, nightmare fuel, except for me. I would clap my hands like a seal.
I do think, as we've discussed many times, I think Chucky T would be excellent as a heel manager.
He would be perfect.
If he can't wrestle anymore,
God, make
that
it
would
happen.
be, I want him on my TV screen, and that would be the great way to do it.
Yes, please.
But
love you, Chucky. Okay, anyway,
but we digress.
Speaking of heels crashing out, then we have this gorgeous video package from Mercedes Moné, who announces she's been so disrespected her whole time in AEW that she is taking a break from AEW. My interpretation of this is that the break will be so that she can go to all the indies and internationals and drop all her belts.
I would think so. I hope so.
And then come back in time for the Owen.
Yeah.
With that as her only remaining belt.
She comes back with her tail between her legs.
Fully
so to
unhinged.
Speak. Yeah.
And let me just say, like, we haven't talked a lot about other promotions lately. But Matt Cardona recently, I think, went back to SmackDown. I don't know. He recently re-signed with the Fed. And all I can say about this is that we've been paying attention to indie wrestling in recent months, and we know Matt Cardona has been all over the place. He's been calling himself the indie god. He's been getting belts, and then the Fed comes calling, and he fucking just vacated them all.
Bullshit.
And I know that nobody who is listening to this podcast possibly has anything bad to say about Mercedes Moné, but if you fucking do, I suggest you turn your energies to Matt Cardona, because she is going to go drop those belts and uplift people.
She's going to have amazing matches.
Yeah, she is going to have an amazing time dropping all those belts. She's going to have fun, and the people in all those promotions are going to sell out their venues, and they are going to be uplifted by this. And Matt Cardona just fucking walked away as soon as Trips and Stephanie said, come on back.
Yep.
Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fuck that.
Mercedes is the best. So I assume that's what she's going to be doing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how some of that stuff is scheduled and seeing if we can watch some of it or hopefully we'll get clips. I don't know. So very looking forward to that. Love you, Mercedes. Our main event. Actually, no. I thought it was the main event while we were watching, and then I thought it was the main event again while we're recording now. The TNT Championship was not the main event of Collision, which is fucking crazy, and it was also such an amazing match.
It was great.
Mark Briscoe versus Hechicero. Holy shit. Part of, I kind of knew Briscoe was going to retain, and it would have been a little bit dumb if he hadn't.
I think so. He had one defense, and I think... I think there were a lot of people saying Briscoe deserves some of this, deserves some belts and such. And then he finally got one. And it's so he should get to defend it a while and be the champion. So. And
on the other hand, I heard at least one podcaster saying he didn't understand what Hechicero had done to earn a shot at this title. And I think that's fucked up. And that... Honestly, there's something to be said there for the fact that Hechicero has lately been just eating pin after pin on AEW. That's maybe we need to book him better.
Yeah.
Because if you've watched this man, certainly if your first ever live wrestling event was Death Before Dishonor this year, that's why I'm never going to question whether Hechicero deserves any kind of title shot, because I saw him go 37 minutes with Bandito at my first ever live wrestling event. Yeah. And it was fucking mind-blowing. Yeah. So for me, I'm yes, give this man more title shots.
Yeah, Hechicero rules.
He fucking rules.
In the kayfabe storyline, yes, okay, you've got this guy who hasn't won a match in a while and has been taking a lot of pins.
And he's been an accessory to the DCF story and the Okada Takeshita story, which is annoying, frankly.
Also that.
It's been funny, but it's also been annoying because he deserves better.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But this is the thing that, why would Mark Briscoe give him a title shot or have a title shot? Well, Mark Briscoe also, in story, has had this feud with Fletcher, at least.
Yeah.
Don Callis family, certainly. Everybody's, so, okay.
Right, right, and he qualified with a match against Komander. So,
right, and part of this is Don being like,
question?
Here, go get the belt for us, you know.
What is the question? I just hope he gets more of a chance to shine in the near future and like an actual build towards some kind of title challenge or even like a mid-card title run, whatever. Like, he looked amazing.
Well, and this isn't like a match that I would have known that I wanted, but then when it was happening, I was like, these guys are great together.
They are. I would like a rematch.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. But Briscoe does win, of course, and Orange and Roddy come out to celebrate. It's good times in the glom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very happy. Really enjoyed this match. This was this was my other favorite match of the night. And that just speaks to like great lucha.
Yeah.
Great lucha being booked in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, and Mark I think one of the things is some of the lucha stuff, like you need people who can also like take the moves and work with the moves. And Mark did a fucking great job doing that.
Yeah, he looked good.
He sold
good.
a couple
Everybody
of
looked
crazy
great.
bumps and like,
Yeah, that crazy, like, I don't even know what that move was called, but the crazy like head scissors, sideways kind of head scissors flip that he did. Like, Jesus Christ, that looked gnarly.
Yeah.
Anyway, that and the Komander El Clone match were for sure my matches of the night. Really enjoyed those. After that, so again, the most bizarre feud that I don't really understand why we're doing it, but it's fine. We had Lexi Nair in the back with the Grizzled Young Vets and Eddie and Ortiz in a promo for the Maximum Carnage Collision. Grizzled Young Vets still are like mad for some reason. Again, like, if you guys know why this is a feud, if somebody knows, please tell me.
To take them at face value, they don't like the way Eddie does things.
They just don't like the way that Eddie is.
Yeah. His whole deal is not their thing.
Like, it would be actually really funny if wrestlers just walked up to each other and they were like, "What's your deal, man? I challenge you." Anyway, but at some point Eddie goes, "You reap what you sow, but we don't sow, we reap," which is like a weirdly Iron Islands kind of vibe I don't necessarily normally ascribe to Eddie Kingston. I feel like he is definitely sowing.
He said, "Let that marinate."
Reaping. Yeah, let that marinate. Okay. Eddie Kingston, you better keep your ass out of my tomato patch. I'm going to tell you right fucking now, because I will kick your ass if you come to
reap. If
you
don't sow and you only reap, that just means you're stealing from people.
Correct. So that's very strange, but it was funny. But I'm also like, maybe let that marinate yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's now when we get this video package that is like a reminder to everyone that actually FTR are going to be going against Cope and Cage. And it's like, okay, so were we really just spinning our wheels?
Again, until that happens, nothing else matters.
Right.
So part of me says, okay, just keep him off my TV until then.
And I just said, just get it over with then.
Yeah, also that,
Just get it over with then. Let something else happen. Anyway, we won't keep bitching about this. And then we had this super fun trios match. So we had the Babes of Wrath plus Kris Statlander against Hyann, Maya World, and Vert Vixen. So fun. I mean, I guess they're doing this as like a build for the eventual match against the Triangle of Madness. Yeah. But it wasn't a squash at all. Like, every gal in that ring got to show off. I haven't seen a ton of Vert Vixen, but like, she has some very enthusiastic fans, and I can see why. Sign her.
Yeah.
It's like, dude. And Tekla talking shit at the end was very funny.
That was funny.
Like, I don't need friends because I have my sisters, and I'm kind of like, you still need friends.
And Chris is like, we can all stand on things and look cool.
Yeah. And then says, yeah, you may have your sisters, but you'll all be calling me Big Stat Daddy.
Yeah. Very good.
I love this so fucking much.
It's great.
Like, more confident Stat.
Yes.
Like, confident but also funny. Like,
yeah.
Just being confident isn't working for me. You need to also be weird.
A little bit, yeah.
And I know you have it in you, Stat.
Yeah.
I know you do, so keep it up.
I look forward to at some point down the line, the Stat Tekla match that we're gonna get.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I would imagine at Revolution, probably.
And I'm really looking forward to getting to know Maya World and Hyann more. Like, they've been getting match after match after match.
Yep.
They're in that stage where, like, we're all just seeing them over and over again, and they're great.
I think soon enough they're going to win.
Yep, they're going to win. They're going to develop personalities.
Yep.
that sounds meaner than I meant it.
Yeah,
it's just the wrestling journey of like, okay.
Yeah,
then,
you just mean like we're gonna learn who they are.
Yeah.
Not that they don't have personalities. We're gonna learn about.
It was not a diss.
No.
It was that I can't wait to get to know you more. Is what I meant.
Yeah. Can't wait till you develop a personality.
Jeez. All right, I'm leaving. All right,
Adam, you're canceled. Okay, finally we get Don Callis from
Speaking
Tokyo.
of people that should be canceled.
Yeah, he should. Oh, I thought you were going to say he should develop a personality.
Oh God,
he definitely has personality in spades.
Mm-hmm.
So he's theoretically from Tokyo, but obviously he's like backstage.
Yeah.
He's talking up Okada. And who walks into frame but Kyle Fletcher
mm-hmm.
and says, "We need to talk about Okada." And I'm like, ooh. Mm-hmm. We are now establishing that Kyle Fletcher is aware, well, for one thing, that he planted the screwdriver
mm-hmm.
personally.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's aware that Okada screwed him and Takeshita both.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't sure. Like, I kind of thought...
that was an open question.
It was an open question. I kind of thought that, like, Takeshita obviously knows, but I kind of thought that maybe Kyle would take longer to get there,
mm-hmm.
And that they wouldn't potentially be turning away from the DCF together. Yeah. But now I'm kind of like, And Don goes ahead and says the only person who got screwed at World's End was Okada. It's like totally tone deaf.
Mm-hmm.
He blames Kyle for losing the TNT title because he didn't have enough focus. And Kyle's just kind of like, you could see the gears turning, and he's kind of like, "Oh, fuck this," you know?
Yeah.
So I look forward to this. Maybe they will build together after all.
Yeah, and I mean, this coming right after the last thing we sort of saw of Kyle was him being like lost in the wind because he didn't win the C2, and like, what's next for him? He doesn't know. Yeah,
I am very excited for the return of Okada and Takeshita to AEW. I know they've been having a lot of, like, doing a lot of different things in Japan. I know that Takeshita certainly was on, like, a DDT event or two, kind of during this trip, and they, like, seems like they've been having lots of fun, but, like, I want to see what happens next. Yeah. And then we have our real main event, which is Jet Speed and Anthony Bowens versus The Demand. I love this matchup.
Yeah.
I love seeing more of The Demand as in trios matches. I think The Demand might be one of the best things to come out of 2025. Ricochet, like, he's obviously such a weasel and a shitheel, and he's so incredibly talented. And also, like, seeing the Gates of Agony with him, it feels like they've been elevated.
Yeah.
But as a trio, they feel relatively equal. Like, you could tell that Ricochet's, like, the main guy, and he's the one with the singles belt, but he doesn't, like, act.
Yeah. I think the way in which his version of being a heel is weaselly, and, like, I will also be scared and run from things I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
It makes the guys with him look strong, and you know, it makes them...
Without looking like henchmen, though.
Yeah.
Like, they don't look like his goons.
I guess that's what I mean, is like he undercuts himself enough that the guys with him look good.
Yeah, I mean, and this time around we get to see Bishop Khan doing the, like, I'm gonna throw multiple guys. I think he got 2 guys.
Yeah.
Up
one on each shoulder.
Yeah. Like, very big, strong, impressive people.
Yeah.
And Anthony Bowens joining Jet Speed was kind of a spur of the moment thing, but I think it worked really well. I wouldn't have thought about that matchup, but like,
it was fun.
This match felt like, by the end, I was like, Bowens needs to challenge Ricochet for a national title match. Yeah. I really hope he does. Like, I kind of thought he was going to get the pin on Ricochet.
Yeah.
But then there was this sneaky blind tag that...
I was surprised by this because we, I think, just recently got a package of the, like, stuff over the holiday where, like, Tony Khan asked us to be doing, like, friends exercises together or whatever. You know, and I was just...
Which was very fun.
It was fun. It was really fun. And I guess what I'm saying is I of course, like what has been going on with our ex-acclaimed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I like that storyline, but this reassured me a little bit because I also am like, yeah, but I don't want them to, like, just not be doing other things either. Like,
And then I
get
guess
those singles matches.
Yeah, and I guess on commentary, I didn't see the full announcement that was like on Twitter Live or whatever the fuck it was with
Right.
Jet Speed and Bowens, but I guess the commentary was kind of filling us in, saying that Bowens had said they only need one person, right? Like
Nice,
I don't
okay.
have to work with
That's
Max,
great.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it worked really well. Also, like Speedball demanding to scissor,
That was
like
fun.
Immediately. Speedball has this crazed look on their face, and like is just both hands are like as if Bowens has 3 hands to scissor with. Like who else are you trying to scissor? They could have done it in a triangle, which would have been really nice.
Didn't they? Kevin was there.
No, Kevin was there, but I mean, they could have done it as like a closed.
I thought they did, but
I don't know.
Right.
No, they each Bowens got 1 scissor on each of them, but they weren't Jet Speed. I mean, Speedball, Jet and Speed were not scissoring each other.
Okay.
They had Bowens
I guess it was behind
them.
Bowens. I didn't see.
Yeah, I mean, it was very.
But it was great.
Important
I love that
scissoring
moment.
diagrams happening here on Chatter Machine and nowhere else. Listen to our
start
podcast.
Talking about scissoring diagrams. People are going to get the wrong idea about our podcast.
Are they going to get the wrong idea, or are they going to get the right idea? It was really fucking fun.
It was fun.
It was, to me, I was not expecting this to be the main event, but it just really capped off.
Yeah.
It was like a really solid Collision and a really solid Dynamite before it. So I have 0 complaints.
Yeah. I think part of it is, I mean, everybody involved is super good. Ricochet is a really good... He's a really good draw, and he's a really good seller, and a really good everything.
Ricochet, I gotta say, I feel like he might be one of the best all-around talents in the entire company. Like, Harley Cameron is also up there, but, like, Ricochet is a stronger wrestler in terms of, like, his wrestling ability. Obviously, Harley's much, much improved, but Ricochet's amazing. And his comic timing is impeccable.
Yeah.
And, he's just, like, the full package.
Yeah, very much.
The fact that the fans are chanting, "We want Speedball," when Speedball's angling for the tag, and Ricochet's going, "No, we don't."
Yeah.
And then he's just taking this gorgeous DDT and like Ricochet, he's so fucking funny, and he's so good, and he's always on it. Like he's the perfect heel.
Yeah.
He's really becoming one of my favorite people, like one of my favorite characters in AEW.
And then I did like that Max Caster did come out.
He did
even
come
though
out.
I do want to see Bowens doing more singles work as well.
I know, but it was kind of like, there he is.
Yeah, there was a little bit of like, where is he though? And then he came
and then
out,
it became this big chaotic, like building to maximum carnage. I guess like kind of everybody, like the conglomeration
everybody
are in the ring,
was
the
there.
DCF's in the ring. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's just very chaotic and fun. So
it's a little bit like when you, not being a comic book guy, I nevertheless know this. Sometimes you get the comic book and the cover's got like all the people doing stuff, and it's like that's not in the story at all.
What is this? Is this
everybody's
a crossover
here.
event? Yeah. It's like the Muppets Family Christmas.
Yeah,
they dug all the Muppets out of the vault.
Yeah.
And put them all in there. Okay, so that's AEW for the week. Let's dip quick into Honor Club before we close. I don't need to talk about everything that happened, but there were a few
fun bits. I feel like this Honor Club felt sort of like, all right, we're starting out the next year. Here's the stuff we're setting up to some degree.
Yeah.
We got a match with Ace Austin versus Aaron Solo.
Yep.
Ace Austin, great to watch, doing fun little handstand things on one hand to evade things. And like, he's got a lot of great.
Fun.
Want to see more of him, of course. So that was beautiful. We got some Athena doing just a promo, sort of talking about the coming year, basically.
And how she's going to like change her tactics.
She's sounding unsure of herself, which is interesting. I don't have many thoughts on where this is going, but I think at the moment that just feels like a positive. Like, okay, we're opening up, like some things could change up. We don't know what's going to happen. She said 2026 will be about violence and she can only depend on herself, which with someone who is canonically like the leader of a bunch of minions is an interesting perspective for her to have.
Interesting.
So I'll be interested to see where that goes. We got a nice match with Crew.
Yeah, who are officially back. Like, I guess we haven't seen them together, I think, since we started watching.
Yeah, they haven't really been around, and they move great. Fun team.
Move fun.
They move fun. We got Lee Moriarty and Trish Adora. versus Darius Martin and Zayda Steel.
Yes.
This was a great mixed tag match.
I was delighted. When I saw it, I didn't see the match card for this one before the match,
Right,
so I was
right.
going, Lee and Trish?
Yeah, right.
No way!
Yeah.
I fucking love them. And I looked up on WrestlingData.com. The only other time that Lee Moriarty and Trish Adora have tag team, as far as I could tell, was in 2021. They had a random IWTV event match, and guess who they were up against?
Oh, I don't know. Shane Taylor? I don't know.
The tag team they were up against was Kris Statlander and Orange Cassidy.
Amazing.
I need
okay,
to, and
that makes a lot
actually
more sense
that
than
whole
what
event,
I thought.
that whole event, like the match card for that whole event from IWTV 100, it was August 8th, 2021, and that whole match card looks really fun. The title match is Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta.
Fun, okay.
And we have Matt Mako and Kevin Koo, Jonathan Gresham and Adam Priest. Like, there's some good.
Nice.
Well,
this sounds like we gotta go watch it right now.
Fuck, what's the name of the? Oh God, the Chikara gang are gonna be mad at me. I'm blanking on the name of the faction for Hollow Wicked, Jigsaw, and Ultramantis Black.
Oh, okay.
But they're in it. Like,
amazing. Beautiful.
It's very fun. It's very fun. God, that's going to be bothering me till I remember it. Oh, okay, senior moment.
Shall we take a break to look it up?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll get over it. We'll move on.
Well, this was a great match regardless. I am interested to see the dynamic of Lee Moriarty with STP. I don't think they really leaned on much of that in this match, if I recall.
They really didn't, yeah.
But Trish Adora, it's funny because Trish and Lee, I feel like, have slightly kind of different styles too, so it was very interesting to see them together.
The Spectral Envoy.
Oh.
Thank you. Anyway.
That's the...
yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's get back to Trish Adora and Lee Moriarty. Like, I love them both separately, and I love them together.
Yeah. It was like a sort of peanut butter chocolate kind of situation of like two good things coming together and being something new and different together. Anyway, and Darius Martin and Zayda Steel also totally
it was fun.
Out.
It was fun. And that was kind of the announcement. I mean, we got the announcement that Zayda Steel was officially joining Skyflight to step up to replace Layla Gray, and this was her first time in the ring with them.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then Crew, a little later, had the announcement that they're officially back, and Lacey Lane is officially a member of Crew, which is, I think that's got to be an improvement. I am very interested that Ring of Honor is really going in on these intergender factions and trios, and I really hope that carries through to AEW as well.
Yeah, even
they're
if
playing, they're
playing around with this, and even if they largely are on just doing it with Ring of Honor for a while, please more of that, and make them all tornado.
Yes, make it all tornado, make it all intergender. Let everybody hit each other.
Let everyone hit each other. It's just kind of partly it's not even just like for like political reasons or social reasons. It's also just like it's tedious when like, oh well, you got in the ring, well now we have to tag out.
Exactly. It's very awkward. It's awkward.
Yeah.
It's not that I need to see men hitting women, okay?
Right.
I mean, duh, nobody listening to this thinks that.
Yeah.
But like to have when it's not tornado rules and it's like, well, the woman gets in the ring, so now we have to change. It's just
or there's like a little standoff, but the guy has to be like, oh well, I'll back off.
I'll back off because I'm a gentleman. It's just boring. Like, all right. Anyway, before the Crew announcement, we had Billy Starks and Diamante against Reza Clark and Shay Carmichael, and I wasn't familiar with them, but a bunch of people were like excited to see them. That's awesome. Billy Starks is wearing all black, which I thought was very different.
Yeah.
I wonder if that signifies anything, but
I wonder.
I mean, everyone's like, well, Billy has to take the title off Athena eventually, I guess, which, like, I don't know, you've challenged for it how many times?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're still like her minion, so I'm kind of wondering, like, is that really the story we're telling?
I wonder. But I'm open to see where it all goes. With Athena talking about, like, I don't know, just seeming concerned about things, and Billy Stark's wearing black. If anything shakes that stuff up, at least that'll be fun, because after a while, it's like, okay, yes, Athena and her minions, and then nothing changes, you know? So
Right.
But interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. Just skipping ahead a little bit, we had like the Premier Athletes against Rachel Ellering and some dudes.
Rachel Ellering is fun. We've seen her a little bit before, and I don't know, she's just fun in the ring. I thought Yeah.
It was fine. And then we had Dalton Kessel and the Outrunners against the Frat House.
The
Fart House. I enjoyed Dalton's little pre-match when he goes on his little monologue, and it was about like the Ring of Honor potluck and how he was going to have some ambrosia salad.
Yeah.
And Ian is like, I brought that. And like, he's recording from home in his pajamas, so it's very funny. But and then...
Well, we had a little promo with Lexi Nair interviewing Taya Valkyrie and Johnny TV. Valkyrie is talking about how much she is upset that Red Velvet has been avoiding her.
Right.
And Red Velvet's just there off screen.
Right. She's like
little
3 feet away. She walks right up.
But just setting up a proving ground match between Valkyrie and Red Velvet, which sounds great to me. Yes, I want all of that.
And I mean, I love that Taya Valkyrie is like, the Women's TV Championship. It's got my name right in it. Yes, get it.
Acting very diva-ish and like, okay, well, my people will talk to you. To schedule this for me.
She's very funny. I'm delighted about that. And I did not like what happened with their other friends in MXM TV. Who got fed to the Von Erichs because I guess we're in Texas, so we have to do that.
Whatever.
Like, that's fucking bullshit, honestly.
I have zero pop or response for the Von Erichs. It's like, okay, they're on TV again.
I don't know if anybody does.
Mason and Mansoor, I mean, I get it. We're doing wrestling math. They're heels. They're going to go and have a match and lose.
Sure.
But I like them, and I'd like them to get a win now and then. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's just...
Unless they're being the Grinch, in which case I want to see them splattered on the ground. We had a little squash match where Sammy Guevara, of course, was squashing, but they introduced Kieran Gray, who was like kind of had this intriguing presentation and is billed as being from Kodiak, Alaska, and had like this interesting headgear. Of course, he's like from Georgia and like got trained by Darby Allin. Like, I don't know. So I'm gonna hold my judgment as yet on this, but it could be an interesting guy.
This is one of the things I like about Ring of Honor, and I think what people miss about things like AEW Dark, for example. Right now, Ring of Honor is a place where you can see somebody you've never seen before from some other region show up and just be like, huh, that's interesting. And you just kind of want to be like, I'm going to put a pin in that. And I hope they come back.
Right,
that kind of thing. And it's nice.
Yeah.
And we closed out with the Swirl battling Tommy Billington and Adam Priest. And
boy, I'm getting tired of hearing Rule Britannia. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. Screw your head on.
I mean, so I am interested a little bit in the whole thing of the kayfabe of this, where Jay Lethal had a match recently where he was teaming with Bandito and then betrayed Bandito, and it sort of makes sense of the whole thing where Blake Christian has used lethal injection move a couple times recently, and it's selling the story of like, okay, people are gunning for Bandito, people are not necessarily on Bandito's side, and there's some I can see the chef is cooking. I'm not exactly that interested in the dish at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, and part of it I think is, well, Adam Priest, we've seen a lot. I like Adam Priest.
I do too. It's a little confusing because in the indies, he's like a super heel.
Yeah.
So like,
there's that too.
Trying to sell him to me as a face, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
and maybe it's partly that, maybe it's partly that I just
I'm not invested in Tommy Billington at all.
The Rule Britannia thing, all of it to me just reads heel. I'm like, what is going on?
What are we doing?
And I think the other part of this that just kind of has me, I'm wait and see. I mean, whatever. These are all great wrestlers.
Yeah.
The Swirl are great, and I think I had to look up some stuff because I was just, something feels weird to me, and I think what feels weird is the fact that the Swirl just joined in 2025. During the time we've been watching, they just got their like Triniton animation stuff with the ice cream cone and all that stuff. Like that's all very new. And yet at the same time, we're getting the storyline where like Blake Christian wants a shot at the men's world championship for Ring of Honor. And I'm like, you guys are a tag team.
Right.
I'm like, and I think part of the problem is that they are a tag team and they are a great tag team. They're very fun to watch. Mm-hmm. But the fucking Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship has been wrapped up with Sammy Guevara for over a year.
That is really the problem. That's really the problem.
And every time it's been up for grabs again, it's like, well, Sammy gets it again, just with a different partner. And
you
it's
know
like,
what?
What's happening?
You've really hit upon exactly what the problem is, because much more than I want to see Blake Christian talking about how he needs the singles title.
Yeah.
I want to see the Swirl get the tag
Yeah,
titles.
right?
That's what makes more sense.
Right.
With
but we're doing these
all
tag
this
matches that are like
in-ring
proxy
storytelling
battles.
that we've been doing that makes so much more sense.
That's
and it
what
would
I want
be
to
more
see.
interesting rather than like all this bullshit because like LFI members variously keep getting injured.
Right. And like Dusty before him or Dusty whatever.
When they're back, they can fight for it again, you know?
Yeah. This did cause me to look up a couple things that I didn't know. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. But I was wondering how long Sammy's had it. And was like, okay, it's been over a year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that before them, Better Than You Baby were Ring of Honor Tag Champions for half of 2023.
Oh, that was a weird year, I think.
Yeah. Preceded by the Aussie Open and followed by Undisputed Kingdom, the, not
Taven and Bennett?
Yeah. So anyway, just it was interesting to me, people who have been Ring of Honor tag champions before. But at this point, it's like, oh, is Sammy just like the forever tag champion? What's going on? Yeah,
what's happening? He's having singles matches.
It gets vacated and then he wins it again. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But I digress.
I wish, I do wish that the Ring of Honor championships could be defended in a way that feels like they're not just like kind of waiting for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
At least they're doing proving grounds with like the Pure Championship and now the Women's TV Championship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
like
fun. It's stuff is happening, but I could think particularly with the tag titles, it's feeling really stagnant.
Yeah. I mean, let like Mansoor and Mason go after it.
Yeah.
You know, like let's get some
Let the Outrunners go for it.
Right?
Like let's mix it up. There's so many great tag teams and trios in Ring of Honor.
Yep.
These belts should be moving.
Let's move them around a little more.
Or at least they should be defended.
Defended, yeah. Get some defenses.
Come on, Tony Khan. Anyway.
I
think that about wraps up our rather detailed discussion. Yes. I was thinking, gosh, how nice that this week we only have like one Dynamite, one Collision, and one Honor Club to talk about. Yeah, it won't be too complicated. But of course, now we're fucking deep diving into all our conspiracy theories. So
we have a lot of theories, and we had some By Panic stuff to talk about too.
I had to talk about By Panic. So thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for joining us for yet another episode of Chatter Machine. You can find us on Blue Sky and Instagram at Chatter Machine, or email us at chattermachine@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe, and leave us a loving review wherever you like to get your podcasts. This will be on YouTube a little bit after it's everywhere else.
Smash the like and subscribe buttons.
Please.
Smash them. Destroy them.
Wow. Violence really is running 2026.
I blame Google.
Thanks as always to Sasha Enda for the theme music. For details on the music and for all my stupid little notes and jokes, please check the show notes. Jog on, Bonnie lads.